I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. VP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the economy I bring, come chat, voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Just know it's a general knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP. Call me Damian Phillips. Whoa, ooh yeah, Phillips. Call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. Yeah, DP stands for Damian Phillips. All who never knew get with it. So if you see your girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, adjust the habit. DP stands for Damian Phillips. All who never knew get with it. So if you see a girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, adjust the habit. Politics, politics, it doesn't matter, me I go talk, bringing light to the lost so you will get it. DP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the economy I bring, come chat, voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP, call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. So if you see your girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, adjust the habit. Politics, politics, it doesn't matter, me I go talk. Bringing light to the lost so you will get it. DP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the economy I bring, come chat, voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Yeah, views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP, call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. Come listen my show. On the economy I bring, come chat, voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. VP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the economy I bring, come chat, voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Just know it's a general knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP, call me Damian Phillips. Whoa, ooh yeah, Phillips. Call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. So by now you should know what the DP stands for. That stands for Damian Phillips. So let me say good evening and thanks for joining me. So I do. Should I apologize? I don't know if I need to apologize because last night I did say last week, not last night. Last week I did say last week Monday night would have been the last show for 2026. However, I don't know. There's something like I'm like maybe I shouldn't have made the announcement and just come and do my show. But I'm like, no, there's still another uh couple days before the new year. So why not have a show? Yeah, why not have a show? Um So we're having a show tonight, and I'll be sending out some links to people who have been here with me and see if they want to close out the year, like we were doing it a couple of weeks ago. I was told that some people may not be able to come on because there's some heat in the kitchen, like people asking them where I do pan that eat that boy the page on his show and if you met them on the GUE. So now call a name, just I say I wear my ear. Don't know if there any truth to it. But yeah. So be sending out the invites and if my brethren them come join me, then that's so be it. TikTok is working with me tonight. So I'll be able to share my phone number. So if you like to call in and share your input, maybe it's not show related, maybe you just want to say, um, still season's greetings and including Happy New Year, which couple of days from now we will be enjoying or entering a new year. So if that's you just want to call me and say Happy New Year, my friend, we'll be taking those too. So again, it is Monday night, the 29th day of December. So like I say, in 2 days we will be celebrating a new year. A lot to talk about. Um, and maybe this is what triggered me having another show because the bombshell was dropped Sunday morning. Was it Sunday morning? Saturday morning. Yeah. Hey, Simone, didn't see you last week. Was wondering what was going on. Um, yeah, was wondering what was going on. Happy to know that you're here tonight. So, bombshell, 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 bombshell. And let me see if I can start with one of the many of the shells of bombs that I've dropped. Let's see if I can start with one of them. Bombshell, bombshell,
It's
bombshell.
doing
Talk, boss, talk.
Jamaica, Usain Bolt. It is a disgrace. The man invested his money for his retirement in an institution regulated by the Jamaican regulatory body for investments in the country. And there was a massive fraud going on in there. Nigel Clark was Minister of Finance. When the report come to his office about the problems, he put the report in a cupboard and forget about it.
I have one opportunity now just to pour out my heart, and I feel hurt and disappointed, that I've, put that effort in, taking major risk, right, in getting forensic auditors from the United Kingdom to do a massive investigation. That file has been put to the DPP from late 2023, and nothing has kind of come of it. And people are looking and wondering, hey, what's going on? I've done my part. Which is to act with alacrity, to act with speed, to act with resolve, to seek international help, and to fund a proper investigation. And, the rest of the system has to do its part. And it's important that the public can distinguish between where responsibility begins and where it ends. My responsibility begins, on the policy side, and it certainly does not include investigations and prosecutions and so on. That belongs in other parts of the system. And while I respect the independence of all of those entities when it comes to a situation like this, where people, are looking to me, for some resolution. It's very important that I point out where my responsibility begins and where it lies, and show the people, as far as where my responsibility begins and lies, I have done my part. And my heart breaks for the fact that, one of Jamaica's treasured icons is caught up in this, country.
And
you would play it again.
Heart when I see what this government is doing to the great sprinting legend of Jamaica, Usain Bolt. It is a disgrace. The man invested his money for his retirement in an institution regulated by the Jamaican regulatory body for investments in the country. And there was a massive fraud going on in there. Nigel Clark was Minister of Finance. When the report come to his office about the problems, he put the report in a cupboard and forget about it.
I have one opportunity now just to pour out my heart, and I feel hurt and disappointed, that I've, put that effort in, taken major risk, right, in getting forensic auditors from the United Kingdom to do a massive investigation. That file has been put to the DPP from late 2023, and nothing has kind of come of it. And people are looking and wondering, hey, what's going on? I've done my part. Which is to act with alacrity, to act with speed, to act with resolve, to seek international help, and to fund a proper investigation. And, the rest of the system has to do its part. And it's important that the public can distinguish between where responsibility begins and where it ends. My responsibility begins, on the policy side, and it certainly does not include investigations and prosecutions and so on. That belongs in other parts of the system. And while I respect, the independence of all of those entities, when it comes to a situation like this, where people, are looking to me, for some resolution, it's very important that I point out where my responsibility begins and where it lies, and show the people, as far as where my responsibility begins and lies, I have done my part. And my heart breaks for the fact that, one of Jamaica's treasured icons is caught up in this, country.
But the question is, and let me step back. If you're just coming in, I see the numbers going up on YouTube. Thank you very much for coming in. YouTube. I said tube. English, tube, YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, big up yourself. If you're listening on VCR Vibes Corner Radio, big up yourself. If you're locked in on TikTok, big up yourself. TikTok has become my new family. So yeah, big up. A couple weeks ago, I was privileged to present the show like this on TikTok, and I got a lot of comments, a lot of congratulations, and people like, I like the new look. No, this is my look for a while. It just took me a little while to got over to the TikTok and kind of getting a grasp of it, and yeah, TikTok pushing out daily challenge and all of that. So if you're following me on TikTok, I don't know if TikTok is going to push this video to the For You page, but if you're watching on the For You page or even on my TikTok page, you can come over to YouTube. If you comment there, I will be getting the comments from TikTok too. But you can, as you can see, I have an overlay on the right side here, so your comment will be right on the screen. People normally keep it respectful, so I have the power to do everything. Now, if you come over here and say things that you're not supposed to say, but yeah, again, this is the final show. Can't do nothing about that. It's the last show for this year. I was saying it to somebody that, yeah, I'm thinking of having a final show, and they got the impression like I was like, stop doing this. And I'm like, no, this is heaven for me. There's about one other thing that when I'm doing, anyway, let me not go there. So it is a live show. It's not a rebroadcast, and I see my friends coming in. Yeah, and the comments are coming in. I don't know. I want to do something new tonight. When you come in, you can just drop in the comment where you're
viewing from or you're listening from. So again, we're live on several platforms. We're live on my YouTube channel, live on TikTok, live on Vibes Corner Radio out of Connecticut. And yeah, we have a show lineup for you. So if you just come, you wouldn't hear it, but I just played a clip. It's a joint clip. It's an edited clip. It's one of the leader of the opposition trying to score some cheap political points out of the whole SSL saga. For years, yes, indeed, I can say years, because this broke in February of 2023, and the call was, "How comes nobody not get locked up for Usain Bolt money?" And then when Miss Panton was arrested, then they switched the narrative to say, "Oh, I can't one person," and they talk about a crap. And for some reason, I enjoy bringing the crap to you guys. So let's listen to a crap supporting the foolishness, or them explaining their foolishness. Let's get it. Bringing it up for you. Bringing it up for you. Is it this one?
Why you want to come in first? Go ahead.
Yeah, let me chime in on this one. And good morning to my good friend Conrad. Right? You
Good
know,
morning,
because
good morning.
this is just as much to do about nothing. Let me say this with
North
let me
Carolina,
say it with no
Connecticut.
water in my
Thanks.
mouth. The scene of the crime has been wiped up, clean, and sanitized. Yeah? The
Let's
money
start this over.
First came to. So I'm going to stop it right there. I'm not going to go any further. Ed boy, you want to come in first? Go ahead.
Yeah, let me chime in on this one. And good morning to my good friend Conrad. Right? You
Good
know,
morning,
because
good morning.
this is just as much to do about nothing. Let me say it with no water in my mouth. The scene of the crime has been wiped up, clean, and sanitized. Yeah? The monies were already spent in the general elections of 2025 and were spent in the general elections of 2020.
And the by-election of 2019.
Yeah?
And the by-election of 2019.
Yes, quite frankly, this is a distraction from some other issues that the Jamaican people have been raising. And let me tell you why they're doing this now. They are doing this now because if they did not deal with this, they would not access the money from the United States.
So let's dissect this. And I see the comment on the screen. Even with this new information, the operatives of the PNP are trying to spin the news regarding SSL. Yeah. So, and I'm going to call name. Last week I refrained from calling names, but I guess it's the end of the year, so let's just beat them bad and close out the year. So I just played a clip from a PMP activist. He has a show on YouTube. And that's clip from him. So this was just Saturday morning. So he played the RGR newscast, and by now everybody should know that there have been 3 arrests. There's something else that I want to talk about as I mentioned those 3 arrests and talk about operative. I'm wondering to myself if there are people with sense, but because of the love of a party, they just put aside all of that. Get back to that in a second. Maybe I call one of my ex-police friend to and ask him a question before I go with that. But this was Saturday morning. Colin Bell, Shaka Fame, that was on his show. He had on Ralston Hyman. He also had on Conrad O'Brien. And there's this person called himself Ed Boy. I don't know why that moniker. I don't know if he give boys heads or I don't know. But Head Boy, that's the name. So that's him coming a while ago and saying, this is a much to do of nothing because this mopping up everything is done. And I'm saying to myself, I'm a little lay person. The only 2 certification I have is in electrical installation and HVAC. Yeah. But I said to myself, say, with financial crime, there's something called follow the money. You will recall, and I played that clip at the beginning, Dr. Clark, the Minister of Finance then, said he was calling in help from everywhere. from Europe, from America, whatever help. And even that they say no. And what I like about the PMP, they create their own straw men and then they try to break it down because they were saying nobody else will be arrested. Yeah, it took 2 years. But I used this on a TikTok live earlier. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. And I say the artist that came out accusing the government and the custom for removing items from his shipment, which he was probably a head boy in school and haven't. I'm glad you pick up on the joke I was trying to make. So the artists that tried to malign the government and custom the other day, saying that things were removed from his shipment. Later on, we found out he had to remove the claim, the false claim, because first and foremost, he was not the one that even put together the stuff that they sent to Jamaica. He had no knowledge. Like he said in the video, somebody told him that things were missing. Anyway, I use him as an example and I say, you think that arrest that was made after flying from Europe to America and spilling his beans to the informant, you think that is when the investigated started? And I must give Conrad some ratings because Conrad was trying to point out to them, which I'm going to play a clip which not related to SSL, but you're going to hear one of Shaka Fame's minion accusing, wrongfully accuse the then Minister of Finance of basically thieving government money or spending it incorrectly or something to that extent. I don't remember. When you hear it, you'll hear it for yourself. But he was saying that Conrad Conrad must be a believer. And you will hear why. But he was pointing out and saying, listen, man, all these things go. If you realize of late, Mocha have took a stance where it's kind of similar or mirroring up north, where they will start an investigation and that can run for years before you even hear of nothing. But when they zone in on you, when they crack down on you, they actually have everything that they need. So as County Shaka Fame, he was talking to his producer before coming on air, which I don't know why we're not hearing the producer anymore on air. I don't know if it's because I pointed out that, listen, your producer should be ashamed of herself coming on the platform talking about she took a deodorant to give it to a girl in St. Elizabeth after the thing. So amongst other things. I haven't heard her voice, so I just heard mention. He keep on referring to her. So he said that she was saying to him, his producer, before coming on air, that it was like in a question form. Who keeps evidence from a crime 2 years after? Again, that proved to me that these people, TikTok feed gone for real. Maybe because I mentioned YouTube a couple of times. Thanks for that though. Let me check on that. Yeah, it says sending data. Yeah, me hear people are complaining about TikTok from the other day, so I have no idea what's going on with it. Them say yes, unable to connect, and it's still trying to send the feed. See, that's why you can't run on for new, all people. Why may I tell you, all people where it can't run? Because all people them say, don't give away all for the new. Don't give away all for the new, because it starts and it'll go on, and for some reason now TikTok is saying it cannot connect. But we're here still on YouTube, and we're still on Vibes Corner Radio. So yeah, like, who don't know that there's something called a footprint? So even if you carry out a financial fraud 10 years ago, with good investigative capability, you can't hide it. Something as simple as If I'm doing a business and I have a laptop, a computer for that business, if I erase the hard drive, format the hard drive for whatever reason, that tantamount to some form of fraud. If I have say I'm using Excel and I actually modify or edit some cells to reflect something, it's going to show. So when Shaka Fame producer is going to say, oh, who hold on to thing, I do not believe whatever they gather, which of course it can play a part, whatever they gather, the Saturday when Mocha and C-Talk made their arrests, digital footprint, thank you. Whatever they gather Saturday morning, maybe it's a tip of the iceberg or the icing on the cake. Let me use a better analogy than tip of the iceberg. Yeah, maybe that's what that is. So you have people who, and I'm going to play head boy again because these PMP, they're brilliant. You know, they know everything. You know,
Right, they're not going.
so let's play Ed Boy again. Sorry, let's play a clip from Ed Boy again. Well, from Shaka Fame with Ed Boy's voice. I don't know if he said. Just let me play the clip.
One, and good morning to my good friend Conrad. Right?
First came to. So I'm going to stop it right. They're not going any further. Ed boy, you want to come in first? Go ahead.
Yeah, let me chime in on this one, and good morning to my good friend Conrad. Right? You
Good
know,
morning,
because
good morning.
this is just as much to do about nothing.
Hey.
Let me say it with no water in my mouth. The scene of the crime has been wiped up, clean, and sanitized. Yeah? The monies were already spent in the general elections of 2025 and were spent in the general elections of 2020.
And the by-election of 2019.
Yeah?
And the by-election of 2019.
Yes, quite frankly, this is a distraction from some other issues that the Jamaican people have been raising. And let me tell you why they're doing this now. They are doing this now because if they did not deal with this, they would not access the money from the United States.
Well, I don't know.
So I see, especially, well, let's start with over here first. So I see that NCCT in the building over on TikTok, St. Catherine, Jamaica, London, Ontario. Where else we have in the building? I thought I saw some others. Hey, Kerry, DJ, big up on yourself. All right, keep those comments coming. I think I'm okay on back on TikTok. Yo, TikTok have one little bias something to it. I was on a live yesterday, and the host was saying, "Listen, for those of you who keep on championing freedom of speech, overloaded." TikTok overloaded. Freedom of speech. There's no such thing. And if you're in the TikTok field, you'll know there are words that you cannot say. So I've been told that TikTok don't like when I mention other platforms. So maybe because I alluded to wherever else I'm at. At this point, TikTok can't take anything if we want here. Because we were here before TikTok and we'll be going on longer than TikTok. But yeah, so let's do some further unpacking. So that's a lie from the PNP now saying, and I'm trying to make it make sense because I tried to do that first, internalize some information and try and make it make sense. Even if it's foolishness, try and make it make sense. So Ed Boy is saying that this had to happen for us to get money from America. London, England. Thank you. Make that make sense. So Jamaican government, which the same people will tell us, say, 3 different arms of the government. So the legislator cannot dictate to the judiciary or whatever. So these people are saying in order for Jamaica to get money, they would have to make it seems like they're doing something. Make it make sense. That makes sense, Tona? It make it make sense. This is what a grown-ass man say. this is a smoke screen. It's a little bit to do about nothing, because so it would appear like them not accept it. However, I saw an official release from the PNP spokesman on security, and let's hear what he has to say about this.
Is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
The announcement of the operations today by the various security agencies in the SSL fraud matter is welcomed, though long overdue in coming. I commend the personnel in the various agencies for their courage in pursuing this matter and look forward to early arrest and successful prosecution of all persons involved in this massive multi-billion-dollar fraud. The criminal act by those well-to-do involved has robbed so many of our people of their hard-earned money and deprived so many of them of a quality of life they have sacrificed to secure. I am also commending the many Jamaicans across the country and in the diaspora who have lent their persistent voices in demanding that all those responsible be held accountable. It is only our collective and persistent agitations will ensure that the interests of everyday Jamaicans are protected, not only from criminals on the streets, but also from those in high places.
At pnp.org.jm.
First came to. So I'm going to stop it right there. I'm not going further. Ed boy, you want?
So I made a link with both of that and share it on TikTok. So Shaka Fame and him people them saying this is much to do about nothing, but the party. And the reason why I'm playing that is to draw contrast. I was on I think it was my own live on TikTok, I think Friday night, and Caution came up and he was saying that the things that I was accusing the PMP of, if I've heard any of the hierarchy of the PMP saying these things, and he lists names. He lists some names. And his defense was to say, you hear stuff from people who are members of the party, but you don't hear that from the party. So we all know that 2023, 2024, 2025, the PMP was pushing this narrative, like you heard Ed Boy say. We already know that this money was spent in the 2020 election, which was September 3rd, and then in 2025. And you heard Shaka Fame saying also the 2019 by-election, which I was I didn't ever get it good. Today I was making my preparation for the show and figure out that when he alluded to the 2019 by-election, that was the Anne-Marie Vaz versus Damian Crawford. At first, so I take that back because I've said it several times on live that was the local government election which he got beaten, but no, it did not. So let me take that back. No, that wasn't the case. He said 2019. So the narrative from the PMP in that clip, what they're putting forward is that the money from SSL was used by government to run election. That is what. So what did Mark say? What we know of Mark say? What is on tape of Mark saying?
What this government is doing to the great sprinting legend of Jamaica, Usain Bolt. It is a disgrace. The man invested his money for his retirement in an institution regulated by the Jamaican regulatory body for investments in the country. And there was a massive fraud going on in there. Nigel Clark was Minister of Finance. When the report come to his office about the problems, he put the report in a cupboard and forget about it.
I have one opportunity now just to pour out my heart, and I I feel hurt and disappointed, that I've, put that effort in, taken major risk, right, in getting forensic auditors from the United Kingdom to do a massive investigation. That file has been put to the DPP from late 2023, and nothing has kind of come of it. And people are looking and wondering, hey, what's going on? I've done my part.
Hold on, Dr. Clark. So again, we have to say kudos to Dr. Clark. This was a working minister. So we know that the catastrophic ban, we're getting a pull down from that because, when I listened to the clip the other day, in Parliament, he was literally begging the opposition to, come on the right side of the bill so we can actually insure Jamaica. That's how it sounded to me. With the SSL, when they were talking all kind of smack, he came out and he said all that he was going to do. You hear him for himself. He was going to get help from the UK. And they have submitted the information, and this was late 2023, to the DPP office for a ruling. Now, sorry, but I'm trying to match apples with apples. Why is it that the Integrity Commission paid $31 million to an external entity to investigate the Prime Minister, but that finding was not sent to Parliament or published, so we, the taxpayer, could have know which part where money go? Why? However, the IC say they're about integrity. So we have seen it again where the work, and that is what Dr. Clark was explaining, that I have done my part as fast as I could. The only thing they keep on repeating, them did send one report to him from when, and him say him not know, him not find it, him not know where it there. And then after the man resign, then him just miraculously buck up back on the fight. And when I listen to the idiots talk, I'm like, I'm sorry for the people who listen to them, and believe every word that come out of their mouth, because I've gotten emails already, and as much as his email, it took me a while to find it. I know I never delete it. So some simple things that they try to make a mountain out of. Like one, let's jump to it. A brethren where I have some respect for. Post, when was it? And I can't go to jail, I can't go to prison, because I not even a thing, I not edit nothing. This is straight to Facebook. So this was yesterday at 10:50 a.m. Right? The brother posts and say, bail on a Saturday? So let's do something. I'm going to call one of my resource personnel and find out if some anky-panky, or this is what me hear PMP I say, Andrew Owen's friend them get arrested Saturday. So let's see if this is a new thing. Never happened before. Somebody got bail on a Saturday. Let's call my brethren. He not even know me I call him. Let's call a former member of JCF, because I want to know if there's such a thing where you can get bail on a Saturday. I mean, not if I go through in weekend night, just I go say Saturday. Brethren, you're live. Please leave your message. Message. All right. So we're not going to get him tonight. However, let me jump to my WhatsApp, because I did ask him, but I didn't ask him to come on the show. So I asked him earlier if station bail can be granted on Saturday, and his response was yes, even Sunday, especially with a justice of the peace. I even went to AI and asked AI. So let's hear what AI say. Ask the same question about getting bail on a Saturday. Can station bail be granted on a Saturday? In Jamaica, station bail can typically be granted by a police officer at the police station, usually during regular working hours, Monday or Friday, blah, blah, blah. And it explains, so you can do no research for yourself because it goes into the type of crime. Now, the reason why they call it station bail is because you can, as it say, a police officer can offer you bail. And a lot of times, you have cases where you can't even bail yourself. You don't need to. And let me explain. Jamaican bail system is different from that in other parts of the world. And let me talk about US, which I'm familiar with. Not familiar, like intimately familiar with what I've learned of. So in America, when you say you're on a $1 million bail, you literally have to pay that $1 million to get out of jail. Not in Jamaica. The only time a bail bond is posted is when you abscond. So if you get bail for $1 million and for whatever reason you don't show up to court, then that's when whosoever bailed you out now have to pay that money. There was a whole long running with that because at one point it was like a scheme. There were people who they were putting up money to bail people, but it was like an interest kind of thing, like the 150 million loan that JPS gets, something similar to that, because it wasn't a grant and it is a loan. And if you don't know what a loan is, go and research it and stop chat foolishness about the government to give JPS 150 million, a private company who don't need it. Up to last night I hear it on somebody's live. So interest. So say you get 100,000 bail, the people that run the rackets tell you, say, yeah, we will go put up that 100,000 here since you don't have it, but you're going to have to pay us more than the 100,000, which is illegal. Shouldn't be. Unless you're an official bonding agency, that shouldn't be. But again, two different territory. In America, if you get 100,000 bail, you have to present the 100,000 to get out of jail. In Jamaica, it's not like that. Right? Don't have to. Jambisco on TikTok says people do get bail on the weekend. Courtney Forbes say, is Mark Golden friends? It's a statement. Is Mark Golden friend best buddy? So now there's a tug on war with PMP and Labour Right, because the Labour Right, they must say a Mark Golden friend, and the PMP, they must say, I didn't want to cut too much for the show, because Iman did tell Shaka Fame, say, yeah man, are them people a friend man, and you see much I pull off a thing because him come out in a orange shirt. Why him never come out in a one green shirt, and everything they politicize, and they're the first to say we shouldn't politicize everything. So this brethren was asking yesterday, bail on a Saturday? And I'm saying to myself, and this is somebody that I respect, I even gave him an offer to come on the show, make we have a conversation, because me feel like I can say things and it may come across like I'm being wrong or disrespectful. But again, this is somebody that I have respect for. But when you're going to pose such a question, which I even ask him, I'm like, you don't have any law enforcement friends, buddy, or lawyers that you could call? So because we have this freedom, and a lot of time it's misleading, and I keep on saying it. When I hear people say, yo, I was on a live the other day and somebody say, in the PMP in terms of messaging, a blind and lead blind. And I said, no, remember Crystal Tomlinson did put out a 10-point plan, and part of it was to say, we need to pay our propagandists. We need to step up our game and pay our propagandists to get the message out there. Now, a propagandist is somebody like, you see, like you have one sales manager where that's just all them deal with, forget it. Yeah, something similar to that. Right? I believe, and this is my opinion now, I believe that PMP have some people who maybe they're psychologists or they're study psychology, which them come up with something, put it out there, and just get people just repeat it. For example, we all know the saying is Andrew's a thief. Everywhere you go and you read Andrew a thief, I'm going to go to something else because I learned something last night, but I learned it as a lie, so I had to do my own research. So I post the finding from my Google search. See it there on the screen? Yeah. So I drop it under the comment. And my brethren responded and say, thank you, Damien Phillips. So let's go down the rabbit hole, shall we? What exactly are minor bailable offense? Has the JDF held thousands? And again, strategy. PMP have this thing that they're putting out their propaganda, but you can't sue them. You can't even accuse them of saying or making a statement because they put it in a question form. So Mr. Jones is saying, has the JDF held thousands of young black males and females behind bars on weekends for minor bailable offenses? In bracket, slamming the jail cell shut with the words, wait for court on Monday. So that's a question, you know, but you say it's not a question, right? Do the charges laid over the weekend against the accused in the SSL matters descend to the level of minor bail offense? Yeah, all of the questions. So what did I say? I don't remember, so let me read it. I thought your Facebook was hacked. But since it's not, and you want to play politics, calling it rabbit hole, why would an accused who has been granted station bail wait for the court to open Monday to get bail? Make it make sense. And I say, by the way, you don't have any friends that you could ask a simple question? Because this is me. When you ask a stupid question on social media, it is going to cause me to question your ability. When instead of Googling, there's nothing wrong with Googling. When instead of searching for facts, searching for something that makes sense, but instead of doing that, you ask a question on social media. Boss, me feel like more review me the ratings I have for you. May I be honest? Yeah, man. Me feel like more review that, revoke that. Still, money was stolen from 2012. Yeah. Yeah. Asking a question like this. Well, on, me guess them there and I make me know say them there. No. I next screen I show. Okay, cool. Yeah. Asking a question like this so people get bail on a Saturday, that don't make no sense to me. Because me, little bit of me know say, yes, you do get bail on Saturdays. You can get bail even on Sunday. And you heard what I read from the police that you can't even get station bail. So at first they were saying, no man, Gene and Pantan alone couldn't do this. And they try, I saw a meme with some PMP along with the persons that got arrested on top, and then below that was Dr. Holness and Dr. Clark. And the caption over it is say, so well on, how is how we the thief the money? Because that was the narrative coming from over there, so to say the JLP, the government, because again, remember the narrative? They were pushing that, the Prime Minister had money in SSL and took it out because he was winked. Yeah, you remember that narrative there? He was winked. So that is why him take out him money. And again, remember I started at the beginning of the show and I say, you can trail these things. You can go and find out. And I'm not going to tell you. I want you guys to do your own research. Go and find out when Andrew Holness had his money in SSL and when did he, after it mature, when that even just got us out. When was it mature? So for the benefit of those just coming in, let's bring them up to speed.
have now been charged. They were charged last
Now,
evening.
son, someone play it. Man, the audio come through the thing and sound like how it's supposed to sound, guys. We are professional around here. You understand? We've been doing this for a while, sure. We're professionals, so let's get it proper so we can play it properly. If you're just joining, let me say good evening and thanks for joining. This is DP Unfiltered, and we're here Mondays
Ssl
at
have
9.
now been charged. They were charged last evening following a ruling by the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. The development follows yesterday's coordinated raids at their homes. But as you'll also hear in this report from McKinsey Robinson, those charged have since been offered bail.
The three are former Director Hugh Croskery, former Montego Bay Branch Manager Sarah Meany, and ex-CEO Zachary Harding. They have each been charged with multiple counts of fraudulently inducing persons to invest money, failure to register company carrying on business in Jamaica, carrying out securities business without dealer's license, failure to apply to the Commission to be registered for securities issued, and breach of the Banking Services Act. Each has been offered station bail in the sum of $1 million and is to appear before the court on January 26, 2026. One of the attorneys representing Mr. Croskery, Peter Champagny, is urging the public not to rush to judgment.
My client has consistently maintained his innocence and has always made himself available to all of the regulatory bodies that are involved in this matter. We should be cautious in rushing to judgment. The matter is going to be before the court, and we should allow the justice system to work and not rush to any judgment and seek to be given to wild speculation.
Mr. Croskery is also being represented by Samoy Campbell. On a Saturday, members of the security forces and the Financial Investigations Division conducted search and seizure operations at the homes of the three. The operation targeted 4 premises, 3 in St. Andrew and 1 in St. James, as part of the long-running probe into the multi-billion-dollar fraud at SSL. The fraud scandal first came to public attention in January 2023. Yesterday's operation marks the first major public law enforcement development in the SSL case in more than a year. Former SSL employee Jean Panton was charged with multiple offenses in February 2023. In December 2023, the FID submitted a case file to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, signaling the possibility of further charges. However, the DPP has since indicated that outstanding issues remain which have affected the assessment of the file. Welgen Limited, a company owned by sports legend Usain Bolt, is among more than 200 affected clients of SSL. McKinsey Robinson, TVJ News.
So that's from TVJ News. You notice the reading to the story? They had to hastenly say, 3 have been charged, however, they have been granted bail. Programming of the mind. So this was supposed to create a backlash, a outrage, because you can't say something without saying it, Again, don't be fooled by word is win and brewery, whatever. It was intentional. I don't even want to say intentional. It was strategically worded and the read up to the story to say 3 has been, however, they have been granted bail. So this is why we have a Mr. Jones on Facebook asking bail on Saturday. And again, it's supposed to create this big backlash to say, no, sir, see, tell you how Jamaica stay. A big man, not to be spend a night. This is not the first. This is not the first somebody is being granted bail on a Saturday or on a weekend or don't spend no time at jail. And you saw what I read from Mr. Jones earlier, pushing the narrative that, listen, how many times you have young black boys? Yeah, man, so everything now we jump for the young black boys, Can I tell you something? It's the young black boys we're unaliving over 1,000 Jamaicans for the last couple of years. Yeah. So why don't tell the young black boys to stop the things so they don't have to get jail doors slam behind them. Again, gaslighting. They wanted people to create an outrage. To say, what? So, and there's something that happened to poor black boys. Yes, poor black boys get station bail too. So now stop being unfair. Stop being unfair and stop trying to gaslight and try to get a political leverage out of everything. It is wrong. And when I say people who should know better peddle the nonsense, it pisses me off. It does. So let's switch gears. Unless you don't want to continue to talk about SSL. 4 minutes going up to 10 o'clock. I guess them not forward. I got cost one of them because him even tell me 45 minutes before the show say, link him.
We have increased operations by over 70%. This means that there are more than 100,000 interactions between police and citizens over the year. While we are not happy with the increased number of police fatal shootings, the number represents less than 0.3% of all police-citizen interactions. These figures are critical. They demonstrate that in the majority of encounters with armed assailants, police officers successfully de-escalate situations, secured firearms, and preserve lives. We cannot allow the national conversation to focus solely on fatal shootings while ignoring the hundreds of instances where officers disarmed gunmen, prevented violence, and brought offenders before the justice system.
And that's from Revo, Nationwide. Yeah, the link there. So let's dissect. And somebody pointed out to me over the weekend, No, V. Those poor black boys, they serve on the choir. I mean, yeah, they sing on the choir and they're altar boys. Yes. The poor black boys, yes, that's what they are. So last year, on a living rate, because I think I'm still on TikTok or I'm back up. Can't say certain words. Nothing called freedom of speech or expression over there. 1,139. And somebody told me that the police involved shooting was in the 200s. Whereas Akeem, Blazer, where there? People might ask for no. Yeah, man, call them out. Why we didn't hear this big noise making last year? Because the focus was on the 1139. And of course, we know, which I think should not be the case, we know that both, because sometimes I like to be fair, both the PNP and the JLP campaign on two things, the economy and crime. So this was the first we have seen, or let me talk for myself, this was the first I saw an entire election campaign and the opposition did not have that card up their sleeve to talk about crime. Andrew Wallace did it 2015. You remember that dream of him? That aspiration to have us sleep with our windows and doors open? One month I drag him and laugh at him. But can I remind you, we're closing out the year 2025 with a 34-year-old record. Because the last time we have seen under 700 unaliving was in 1994, so a 31-year-old record. And I have with me, I'm going to share it. Thanks again to Kerry from TikTok. The murder rate under PJ Patterson, 1992 to 2005. Scott to PMP, one of the best prime minister we have had. In 1992, we ended the year at 629. In 1993, 654. 1994, 690. 1995, let me go back to 1994 because I wanted to sink in. The last time before now, the last year before 2025, that we ended the year with lower than 700 unaliving. And if you don't know what unaliving, go and go research it. Somebody correcting me, 1,136. 2024. Thank you for that. So let's go again. 1994, 690, and that is 690 people were unalived in 1994. 1995, we saw keep on bumping up, 780. 1996, 925. 1997, 1,038. 1998, 953. And Dr. Gale say, whenever we have sports, we see a downing in crime. So I make a projection that next year, because we have World Cup 2026, we're going to see with a hard-working police force and administration, we're going to record under 300 unaliving for 2026. So 1998, remember we went to France then. That number we closed the year at 953. 1999, 849. Year 2000, 887. That's 887. 2001, 1,139. 2002, 1,045. 2003, 997. 2004, 1,471. And is this the highest? Some 20 years ago? 2005, 1,674. So if you listen to the PNP, you hear they talk about the best finance minister, the best education minister, the best minister of security. We didn't start seeing unaliving going over 1,000 until under, or let me say it another way. We start seeing unaliving passing 1,000 under PJ Pattison administration. And again, because this is how I talk, I really believe that politics is not something that we should politicize. I don't think the crime stats should be something that we politicize. However, we are seeing the players in the field, they're making a football out of it. I can play recordings of people talking about the numbers, them not trust the numbers. And how if you add the 600 and something plus the 310 that police report on, you still, it will get over the 1,000. So they're not buying that. Yeah, that is what they say. So they're playing politics. We heard Peter Bunting run out and say, yeah, man, we are going big up the police them. Oh, by the way, I saw it today, so I have to mention it. We did saw a 19% drop last year. So for 20, although we close out at somebody shared their figure, 1,136, it was a 19% drop. Right? And we have been seeing for the last 4 years the number coming down. Is it this clip, the money that talking foolishness? Let's see if it is. It's it. Yeah.
So when Carl Stone and all them man they go up on the street. Yes.
That's not the one.
And then take up sample.
That's not the one. That's not the one.
Everybody they don't hear them kill another group of people to have things. So me see the labor right, they must celebrate people like after Fit Henley and celebrate reduction and talking about some people was asking for crime plan. And what happened now, you don't hear them. Them need to talk about those that the police kill.
But you've had high police shooting incidents in the past and still had a high murder rate, 1,500, 1,600, 1,300. So how you
And you used to
explain
have,
it this time?
yeah?
How you explain it this time around?
I don't know because it seems as if the police kill out most of the men. Them, me have a problem when the police take out those who attack them, you know.
Uh-huh.
Because if them find gun outside the police, them be dead.
Yes.
But some guys, I saw a guy out there in our Cherry Lane in out there in Clarendon that the police killed.
Mm-hmm.
He came out naked actually.
Mm-hmm.
Within 2 hands in the air. All he have was a phone, hold up in hand. With something like about 20 police going on him.
Yes.
And then going and the man come out, you know, and then call him out. And he come out and with the hands on, and they murder him. And go back in and say him going and draw going after them.
Well, I don't doubt there are incidents like that, and that's why we really want the police camera, the body cameras in action. And despite all the promises we're getting, we don't seem to see any action there. But, we do have a brand of criminal, do you know?
Yes.
Who is not afraid to challenge the police, not afraid to wipe out me and you.
Yeah, man. Them supposed to go. Trust me. You have a problem when the police kill them people. But when police just go in cold-blooded and murder people like that, and you come talking about everything, you know, this commissioner of police, you know,
yes.
Trust me, I think they should charge him for treason. Him and Andrew Holness, because Holness is the one who said he thought about.
But Salah, if it was the other way around and PNP was in power and reduced the murder rate,
remember that name, Salah.
Reduce, not this way.
You would
them reduce the murder rate, like when he went Bunting did got it down to 1,000 and about 5. You remember?
Yes.
Me don't have a problem because there was no such murdering of police murdering people. But you can't just get up and kill off young people like this, man. People come in from a football match and you shoot them up. No, sir. And then the government boasts about reduction of crime. And if you ask your prime minister when he go and declare, sir, we want to know.
Declare what?
Yeah, I said.
Oh.
When he go and declare that? When that going to happen?
Well, it's a matter for the courts now.
That now the court?
Yeah, man. Remember, it's in court now.
What? No, it's in appeal.
Yes, so it's going to be heard, I think, in January or something.
The other one who I saw celebrating the last time out in the courtyard was Roll Reed and talking about 4 term.
Yes.
Then get away.
Well, he's innocent until proven otherwise, you know.
I tell you. This government was, Andrew Holness, he have no idea how a country is to run.
You think so?
He have no idea. Look here.
A lot of people regard him as the best prime minister we've ever had.
And who support him, who benefited from him.
Mm-hmm.
What idea him have? Andrew, let's get a wicket when the PNP leave 2016. Well prepared. Right? It does not, it can't grow the economy. It was so good that he said that he was a 5 in 4. Right?
All right, I think we hear enough of that. So make it make sense. The same man who just say, yeah, man, when the man them whatever take them out and him own comrade brethren, socialist brethren, I said to him, say, then if I did Uno in a power with a 43% reduction, Uno would be celebrating. Him say no. And then he alluded to Bunting and me. I say, you see how them people here is like, been more wonder if them head really screw on because it's under PNP unaliving start go up over 1,000. Yeah. So, you're going to, and I hear this analogy the other day and it kind of makes sense. Somebody said, what an idiot. So you're going to attack me, knock me out, and then I should turn around and praise you because guess what? You didn't just allow me to bleed out. You actually called 911. So me get some medical attention. Make it make sense. We should find something to praise the PMP for. Why? And the Andrew Holness administration should not be celebrating a reduction by this margin, 43%. Somebody on TikTok said bunting was a joke. Then they went on to say, bringing it up here, the police have intelligence on these guys to which the public don't. And Powell says a madman that, and over here says an idiot. But you hear all the reason, you hear the think. So on one hand, he's saying, yes, the police need to do their job. But then me hear Matt bash Abkafit Enley for saying something. Yes, I was mentioning it earlier. This is the first election me not hear them talk about economy or crime stats, because it would be pointless to be mentioning the economy and crime stats. Why is that so? Brethren, me love use analogy. If me a give me woman bun and me stop give bun, she not gonna cost me about bun no more. Although I have some females, when they stop arguing with you, that mean they're really done. Like, you can bun them all you want, they don't care. They're like, yeah, but top out anyways, I don't care. But that's different. Once them still in a cussing mood and start cuss about something else, you know, say, that sorted out. So, I love use analogy like me say. So the fact that the PMP could not make a single ad talking about the economy or the murder rate for the 2025 election, it simply means that work is being done. Yeah, man. Love for the party till them chat and chat and chat and chat some sitting away. Why, TikTok I beat me bad. But anyways, I remember at first I said I wasn't going to do any show, and then I ended up doing a show. So yeah, TikTok, I do apologize. And you see, this is some of the reason why you'll hear men say them now put all of them egg in one basket, you know, because suppose a TikTok alone me that depend on if you hear my show tonight. But brace for some of them start changing their tune.
My prime minister after accusing him of stealing UCN money.
Hold on. You're shifting the goalposts. Are you saying here this morning that you heard me say Andrew Holness stole Usain money? Are you saying
not
that?
in so many words, but you allude prime minister after accusing him of stealing Usain Bolt's money.
Hold on. You're shifting the goalposts. Are you saying here this morning that you heard me say Andrew Holness stole Usain money? Are you saying
not
that?
in so many words, but you allude to that. You allude to that.
Hold on, sir. Let me get it clear.
You facilitated the accusation.
Hold on. Are you saying that you heard Noel Ingram say Andrew Holness stole Usain Bolt money?
Not in so much word, but you say you need to come and give account for it. So if you say you need to give account for it, Mr. Ingram, you're alluding to him stealing.
Let me repeat my position as it relates to Usain Bolt money and the current administration. The current administration, when they came to power, the persons who they put in charge of the whole sequence of events
would have
led to a scenario in which Usain Bolt is exposed. And my argument is, if Usain Bolt was exposed as a result of negligence on the part of the government, in which the government failed to act in a manner to ensure that not only Usain Bolt, any customer at all would have been exposed, then they are guilty. They are answerable. And in a court, I believe that when Usain Bolt would have taken this matter before a court.
That's the voice of Noel Ingram one of the PMP operatives, yeah, activists. So like I said, listen for you to start hearing them changing the Sankey. Because some of them kind of wonder if, isn't that the same thing? Yeah. So that is Ingram. Ingram, that's your debut on my show, sir. Right? I heard you last night. So let me finish up with the police in matter. You heard it for yourself where the 310, the percentage, and maybe I should go back and play it so I don't quote him wrong. There are more people who have surrendered. Heed the Prime Minister's instruction to say, listen, you have a choice when the police come for you. You either put on the weapon and surrender peacefully, and we all, let me drag your memory. Remember the one them who did go barricade themselves in the wholesale? And they even went live on TikTok because they didn't want to be unalived? Yeah, remember that? Mm-hmm. So there are several cases where, but the PMP is trying to make it sound like every time the police go for smarty, them end up unaliving them, which is a lie. Listen to that.
We have increased operations by over 70%. This means that there are more than 100,000 interactions between police and citizens over the year. While we are not happy with the increased number of police fatal shootings, the number represents less than 0.3% of all police-citizen interactions. These figures are critical. They demonstrate that
less than 0.3. Now again, tell me, why they're making a big deal out of this 310? And don't come tell me about no innocent. Because let me say something. Because I try to hold my conscience, but in our work. And Simon himself alluded to it. There were cases, there have been years when the police shooting was way up there. And the civilian unaliving was way up there too. This is a difference. There is a difference here. One number is going up the next thing, and somebody alluded to earlier to say the police them know who them are go for. And I said this to somebody to my live on Friday night on TikTok. Because for those of you, yes, I do go live, just open my camera and go live on TikTok too. So yeah, I do that from time to time. Yeah, I told him that this is a different police force we're dealing with now than 20, 30, 40 years ago. I am sure, which I hope it never happened, but if Bunting should ever become the Minister of Security again, he will be able to go to any parish, not only the most peaceful parish, which is my parish, Portland, and get robbed. It wouldn't happen again. Cannot. Peter Bunting, hope you're hearing me, sir. You won't have any... that is what them say. Right? That is what them say. In tears, Peter Bunting was saying that we need divine. And people are telling me, instead of we say, look, that 400 and something, just comparing with last year, at 400 and something lives that have been spared for 2025, more people will be seeing another year. And instead of giving thanks for that, we're finding something to complain about. And the thing that really gets to me is when I hear what's supposed to be well-thinking people peddle this nonsense. I remember in July, I was down there and I said, listen, anybody around me, we're wearing blue. You remember when JFJ said they were going to protest against the police and they should wear black? No, I wore blue in Jamaica. And every police I see a tooted down and I say, squaddy, big up yourself. A lot of us in the diaspora want to hear that unaliving is such a number which every life should matter. But not over the thousand. Even if you're from Portland like myself, which I can tell you, I've never gone to Portland and felt uncomfortable. This is why I was taken aback when the now member of parliament said on a live that he's not going to give out his address. because East Portland constituency has a tendency of unaliving PNP MPs. And I don't hear nobody take that up and run. I think that was a disgrace to East Portland because we have no such thing. Portland has the record for the lowest unaliving year on year. Most of the time, single digit. I heard the stats today. I think it's down by 20-something% compared to last year. And the commissioner has reported that all 5 divisions have seen drop in crime. And these people want to draw the wool over your face and tell you that nothing good is happening in Jamaica. And you believe them? We need to pray some more for these people. Is this the same audio?
Once again, we urge.
Or I should continue playing this one. Nope. All right. So thanks to the commissioner for sharing that with us. 0.something%. Seems like I'm having some internet problem. 0.something%, and people don't want you to look at that figure to say the last time we record under 700, 690 to be exact, was 31 years ago. 31 years ago. Don't make them fool on here. Don't make them fool on.
DP stands for Damian Phillips. All who never knew get with it. So if you see a girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way.
So I have no idea what going on a while ago. It seems like my instruments, they're not communicating. But yeah, I heard nobody made anything out of it. Nothing out of it. You don't tell no lie on my constituency, sir. And if you indeed live in East Portland or you live in Portland at all, I was telling somebody describing Port Antonio. One way in, one way out. We don't even have stoplight in Port Antonio. Everybody knows everybody. So when the woman them want bad, them say, boy, me have to go to town, because everybody know everybody business. And you're saying you cannot announce where you live. Let me tell you this, Isaac Buchanan, because maybe you don't know, which you should, because you're a lawyer. The person that was charged for the unaliving of the late Dr. Bloomfield was not a stranger. And based on the police report, there was no breaking and entry. And forgive me because I shouldn't be ending on this note, but me feel bad. DNA collected from used condoms. That is why police reports are, me say it. Every time when me hear them read it, I'm like, they need to figure this out. Why them no man left out? But don't come try cast nothing for my parish. Like, no. So, thank you. The video is freezing. I don't know why. So maybe I need to do some maintenance. Not sure when I'm coming back, but I can tell you if it's the will of the Father, it will be next year. It will be next year. But I want to say thank you very much for the support. I checked before I came on, and I still need 86, I think, 86 more subscribers. My wish was to end the year with at least 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I didn't get it. So I'm a bit disappointed. Let me put it out there. I'm a bit disappointed. Can you please help me get some more? Okay, it's fine now. Can you please help me get some more subscribers? Share those of you who are watching now on YouTube. Please, 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 please. I want to start. That you would make my year. If I start next year, come Thursday, if I look and I see 2,000 subscribers. I know you may ask for just 2,000, I'm not asking 5,000 and no 10,000 and a million. I just want 2,000 subscribers. Please, 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 please get me them 2 subscribers. I have another clip I want to leave you with, because when they're trying to create all kind of negativity, facts are out there to debunk their lies. Listen to this one.
That's right. They're not going any further. Ed boy,
Not that one. Let me find the one I want to play for you guys.
Caller, morning.
Good morning.
Let me ask it as a question first, trying to take a book from the wicked people. So, is when Dr. Clark did use government money, buy horses, 18 million. Anybody did know about that? We know when Dr. Clark did buy horse for $18 million. So let's listen to this PMP. And I like when they debunk their own lies.
Obi must be a very good Christian man.
Why
you have faith like Job.
You mean with the SSL thing?
Yeah, with anything we government I do. You know, the Andrew put people in every position, and then after they put them in a position, in be the head of the committee. That means that you have to bring your finding to him. How more get punished. When him know everything to destroy the record, destroy your finding, because it have to come to him as the last man. That no work out. The next thing, like we have Mr. Iman there.
Yeah.
More I ask him, the last budget where Nigeria read where he say me now take off tax off of imported horse, right? Mm-hmm. And then when people look out, he say I take it off of all animals. Yeah. He's not here. Right? And then a little after that, we heard a news from one of the station saying Nigel Clark take 18 million and buy a racehorse. But we not hear nothing about it from me here on the news 1 or 2 times. We never hear nothing more about it.
All right, let Raleigh, you hear that?
You take out 18 million out of the finance sector and buy a racehorse. And when they asked in quarantine if he come in Jamaica, it came over the news. I never hear nothing more about that.
All right, make Raleigh respond to that.
So he just take a free 18 million and nothing more.
Let Raleigh respond to that.
Man, if he have anything for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Raleigh.
Yeah, well, I don't ask him buying a racehorse personally. When we say reduce the tax on imported thoroughbreds, because the man from Tracker said, boy, the stock of good horses were being depleted and them need for bringing some more horses. So as an incentive to keep the racing going, them buy and take off the tax. And him defended it by saying that the government collect a whole lot of taxes off a racehorse, so not wrong if they give them some incentive to bring in some new horse.
And is it true that the government collect a lot of taxes from the racing industry?
A whole lot of taxes from the racing industry. So we don't have a problem with that.
So that wasn't a bad move?
No.
All right.
I just like it when they shoot down their own lies. Yeah. I would like use analogy. You play football, you play against one team, and then just score the goal them for you. Like, yeah. This man come and again pick up the strategy. So him say it one time it wasn't enough, and he repeated it several other times and it wasn't enough. And it was a question he was asking, but then he had his own conclusion. So that mean Nigel Clark they just rob up some money then. I basically that him I say. And see, the question is the evidence going to the PM? So there are people who think that you should not say nothing to these people or don't play them, figure that. No, everybody must hear the foolishness coming out of some of these people's mouth. Yep. And the saying is, if good men remain silent, then bad man will prosper. I was listening to a live last night up to about 2, maybe 3 this morning. And it was very distasteful to start with because the people that were on the live, the way they just talk, is people that I've heard about but never ever listened to them. I've seen clips, whatever, and trust me, I was bored, so that is why I was listening to that time. And a lie surfaced. This woman called herself Tika, says she's from the Prime Minister's constituency. Told the live that the Prime Minister lost 3 times the first time he ran, 1997, at age 25. And she said he took the matter to court 3 times, which in ain't make no sense, because if him take the matter to court 3 times and lose, how comes him still did end up be the MP? Like, it don't make no sense. So my people are very resourceful, so I sent it out and I say, you know anything about this? And yes, in 1997, that election that was called in December, PNP was in reign at the time, and the very first night, Andrew Holness was declared the winner. Then doctor, I don't remember his name now, took it to court, and they say, yeah, there were some discrepancy, and they ordered rerun in a couple of the divisions. Right? But this lady was saying, them can't see why people are say Buchanan figure sit down and whatever. The next thing she say is not the party or Mark Golden, the leader of the opposition, funding Mr. Paul Buchanan escapade, if I lack of a better expression. Which may I say, yo, me hear somebody say something the other day. The money they will play lawyers and all of these things. Why him not go find some people down at West will lose them house, where PMP still a tell lies say people asleep out a door with baby and the elements above them head 62 days after Melissa. Why Paul Buchanan no use the money there, the resource there, and go help some people down there? So she was saying it happened before and it's happening again, because she's saying Andrew brought the man to court 3 times in 1998, that would have been. And so what is wrong with Buchanan doing the same thing now? This is how they think. You just can't make these things up. You can't. Johnny Cool on TikTok says, keep up the good work. Be of good cheer. Better things coming for 2026. Thank you. Let's see if we have any more comments here before I chuckle off. This one says, and it's still from Johnny. One by Mr. Me did one drop the he said one by me do one drop the audio, you know, cause we cut it off. I think, hey, una have to give me namesake some props. Damon Crawford did say, one by one, them going to jail. One by one. Anyway, Johnny say, one by one, they realize if they can't beat them, then they will have to join them. Ask Dr. Dayton Campbell. Do we have another one? Dr. Warren Blake was his opponent. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Michael. Me tell him I listen to them very on top of the game, on top of the ball. Yes, I guess that's the next. They said they're appealing the last ruling. So one of their wish did not come true, because I remember this young lady. She didn't know nothing about politics, and the night of the election, she said, DP, me have running belly. The prime minister lose him seat. And me say, oh, she said, yes, me I watch TV, and I go call TV what? And that them say the prime minister seat gone. And me I say, my girl, cool down. You familiar with the area? She said, no, not really. Me say, where them box there, where them account come from? So she ended up being able to sleep the nights. Because me I said, no, you have to understand how politics go. And but I have a clip, it's on my YouTube channel too, where this young lady told Shaka Fame that after the 6th of December, I never see a date I was looking forward to, so like I did my birthday. The 6th of December, Andrew is going to have to leave, because and them always have some prediction, you know. And Dr. Tufton was going to become the prime minister. And Andrew thinks Him a go get it back and one bag of foolishness and December come and 6 come and gone and I know he's still the Prime Minister. I tell you these people. But I am really concerned about people who don't have what it takes to discern and to research and to come up with information for themselves. Because I keep on saying it, part of the PMP's problem is the accessibility to information. If you want to find something out, you can. And if you can't read, you can ask your Siri and you can ask your Google. And they will find the information and read it to you. Don't make them fool you. I personally believe that we cannot convince anybody that the Prime Minister is the best for Jamaica right now and is doing a good job. If them hate him, them just hate him. And I think every day they get up trying to find something to pile on top of it. Back to Salah. You hear the lie what Salah tell? That was the initial lie. That for 4 years, the Prime Minister have not declared, has not made no declaration. Prime Minister have declared every year. For reasons better known to the PNP, sorry, take that back. For reasons better known to the IC, the Integrity Commission, that was a mistake, an honest mistake. I wasn't even trying to crack a joke. They know why they're not certifying the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. But there are some people still peddling the lie that the Prime Minister have not declared. And you heard it again for yourself a while ago. You heard it. So I kind of give up on those people. And I may have a message more and play finally before we go. I've given up on those people. And I know that we have to be thinking about the future. So if you have anybody between the age of 13, 14, 5 years time, if the Prime Minister wait that long, they will be eligible to vote. So I don't need to say anything else about that. But me give up on some people where their mindset is just where it's at. And there's nothing that a Damian Phillips can say to convince them otherwise. Like I say, I actually believe that there are people who Andrew Holness is like food for them. Literally and figuratively. There are people who, the only way they're getting the 5,000 and the 7,000 views, taps and roses and all of that is by coming on and pretending to find something of value to malign the Prime Minister. That's all they do. They live for it. All right. So let's end with this message from Senator Marlon Morgan.
PNP President Mark Golding for again showing his willingness to mislead and make false statements in his desperation for political power. While on the political platform recently and during the passage of just a few seconds, Mark Golding made 3 false, manipulative, and disingenuous statements about the Stocks and Securities Limited issue, the SSL matter. Golding stated, and I quote, "There was a massive fraud going on in there when Nigel Clark was the Minister of Finance," end quote. In making that statement, the PNP president appeared to pretend to ignore confirmation from local authorities and word from a confessed fraudster who is now before the courts that fraud at SSL was going on from as far back as 2012 when the PNP was in office. Golding also ignored a known fact that the Financial Services Commission, the FSC, had expressed concern about governance at the entity from as far back as 2013 when the PNP administration, of which he, Mark Golding, was a member, was in office. Golding also ignored media reports which quoted relevant documents as revealing that shortly after our sprint legend Usain Bolt sent his principal investment to SSL in 2012, it was fleeced. In another vile, reckless, and misleading comment, Mark Golding stated, and I quote, "The Prime Minister had his money in there and take it out before it collapsed," end quote. That, of course, is patently false. The Prime Minister had invested in a bond at SSL from as far back as 2008, which matured in 2021. As a commercial lawyer, Mark Golding knows that when bonds mature, they are often liquidated as a natural course of action. Yet he sought to mislead his audience into believing that Prime Minister Holness took preemptive action somehow ahead of the collapse of SSL. That is nothing but a cheap tactic by Mark Golding, who, in a new law, has resorted to peddling via the political platform false information, and of course is spreading so via PNP bloggers and vloggers on social media. In a third distasteful and misleading comment, Mark Golding remarked, and I quote yet again, "It pains my heart what the government is doing to the great Usain Bolt," end quote. The fact is, the government of Jamaica has taken unprecedented action in leaving no stone unturned in a bid to secure justice for all investors in SSL, including, of course, our sporting icon Usain Bolt. Golding made his comments despite knowing that the government hired a leading international forensic auditing firm to assist in the probe. No political administration in Jamaica has before sought international assistance to probe a case of local fraud. The case is now before the criminal court, with one person being charged so far. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Financial Investigations Division, FID, are in dialogue as they work toward a determination as to whether there are legal grounds to take additional action against any person or persons in this matter. There are also cases before the civil court. Mark Golding knows it is unlawful for the government of Jamaica to interfere in processes being embarked upon by our law enforcement agencies, the prosecutorial arm of the state, and our judiciary, which also have a role to play in making a determination regarding restitution to people affected by fraud. Yet he, Mark Golding, sought to use a political platform to exploit the name of one of Jamaica's greatest sons by pushing and fueling a false narrative in a clear and desperate effort to score cheap political points. Given the tone set by their president, Mark Golding, it is no surprise that PNP surrogates, including bloggers and vloggers, have found themselves in legal trouble for telling lies about SSL and suggesting that government officials had a hand to play in fleecing investors. This is a bold and barefaced falsehood being spread by Mark Golding and the PNP, which clearly have no plans to move Jamaica forward and has therefore resorted to peddling deception, falsehoods in a bid to mislead and trick the Jamaican people into giving them political power. They must be denounced and rejected in no uncertain terms.
All right, that wasn't a paid advertisement. That was just information I found. However, let me update you. That was way prior to Saturday morning. So that number of arrests is what now? 4? The confessor, 1, and then 3 Saturday. Yep. So, but history is there. Whatever Mark said is there for us to go back and look at. And I talk about this over and over. Mark is not an idiot. So when a Shaka fame make some utterance, which I realize that's the best way now to seek fame, just talk some crap and you will end up go viral, and there are people who they're just living to get a viral. Yeah. Michael said, I'm ending the year as a very optimistic man. Crime reduced by over 40%. No joke. Thank you for that, Michael. Yep, we have something to rejoice for. So that is where I'm going to leave it. I'm happy I followed my mind and did a show, because that was part of my fear to say, yeah, maybe everybody busy, the closing of the year, but yeah. Thanks again for those of you who have been here. If you're watching and you don't know how to subscribe, ask somebody who know, because I don't know what device you're working on. But if you're watching on YouTube, there's a device. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. People, please set it out. Like, I think I need about 86 more people subscription to make it to the 2. So just share my link. Sometime that help. Get even to the video. It's going to be available by tomorrow. You can copy the link, send it to your friends, family. Beg them. Just say you're not even have to hit the notification bell. Just subscribe for me, please. So make my day. All right. So next year will be better. And again, I always say, If you can't be good, please be careful. See you on the other side of 2025, which is going to be 2026. All right? Peace.
DP stands for Damian Phillips. All who never knew get with it. So if you see a girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, adjust the habit. Politics, politics, it doesn't matter, me I go talk. Bringing light to the lost so you will get it. DP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat. Voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP. Call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. So if you see your girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, adjust the habit. Politics, politics, it doesn't matter, me I go talk. Bringing light to the lost so you will get it. DP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. America, come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat. Voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Yeah, views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP. Call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat. Voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. VP is my name, please don't spoil it. Big up Portland, St. Thomas, Jamaica and America. Come listen my show. On the corner me I bring, come chat. Voice your concerns. As I share everything, just know it's a general knowledge. Just know it's a general knowledge. Views expressed, you know the rest. Come chat with DP. Call me Damian Phillips. Whoa, ooh yeah. Phillips. Call me Damian Phillips. Yeah. Yeah, DP stands for Damian Phillips. All who never knew get with it. So if you see your girl's phone and it's my name DP, don't feel no way, adjust the